welcome back my students to a brand new episode of Comic Class. And today's lesson is really looking at Batgirls issue 2. And this basically continues off of issue 1. This is part of the first story arc in the series, which is called One Way or Another. This is part 2 of 6. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting issue. And without further ado, let's jump right into today's story. Let's go. So this story basically starts off where the last issue left off, with these members of the Saints, basically this group called the Saints, basically attacking the Batgirls. And they get into a battle with them, and while they're in battle, they're basically being taught to, at least Stephanie's being taught to by Barbara Gordon, Oracle. And while they're fighting these people, it becomes very clear that they're very talented at fighting people, and they work really good as like a team together, and the members are pretty interesting. I know one of them is called like Tarsis or something. You have one girl that's like a ninja type fighter, and then you have this guy that basically like snipes, and it's a really good battle. And eventually Stephanie saves Cassandra from getting attacked, I think from the sniper or something like that, and or at least captured by the sniper. So they basically made their escape, and the Saints basically just let them go, and this will probably lead into something in the future. Now after all that happens, we get to see that the Batgirls basically go back to Barbara and let her know about the Saints and everything that seems to be going on. Stephanie basically takes the loss pretty hard, whereas Cassandra basically lets it in that they'll get another chance in the future. And I really enjoyed the artwork in this issue. Overall, whoever's doing the artwork of the series is doing a really good job. I think they've been posting the work on their Twitter page, so I'll definitely have to follow that person. But overall, really good artwork, and I really like the expressions that the artist is able to put into this book, and just is a really cool art style, at least to me, in my opinion. Going forward into the issue, we get to see that Tarsis has a talk with Mr. Saint, who had apparently died in the Fear State story arc. I haven't read that / review it on the channel. I'm gonna get on that. Hopefully next week we'll have the Fear State saga or / story arc talked about on the channel. But yeah, but it turns out that it's actually Seer that is pretending to be Mr. Saint and basically lead the Saints to basically try to kill the Batgirls up for him. So that will probably get revealed to the Saints later on, that their master is really dead, and that this person Seer is basically just using them and that. So I'm guessing Seer's probably gonna get killed by the Saints at the end of this story arc, but we'll see if this is like a long standing story plot point and stuff like that. Now eventually Stephanie and Cassandra basically go to that place that they saw in I'm not sure if they saw it in the last issue or not, but basically see that the police are actually working with the people that they saw that were stealing some stuff, and they're making like some type of shrine for some reason. So we'll probably get revealed on what that is in the next issue, I'm guessing. Barbara actually is talking to Dick Grayson, which I guess they got together during Fear State. It kind of sucks that it seems like a lot of stuff happened in Fear State that led into this series. So I definitely need to read that so I can get some of the context for the stuff that's going down in this storyline, and yeah, in this series. But they're basically together, it seems, and once the Batgirls come back, she basically leaves the phone call with Dick, and just really says things like I love you and stuff like that, with Dick saying the same thing, I love you too. So I'm guessing they're together. And I saw like some type of like spoiler thing or a review for Pure State that kind of like had that thumbnail and talked about them being together and stuff like that, so I kind of knew. But that is part of this continuity, so I'll have to read that for sure. Now, the Batgirls basically all together Oracle as well, basically eat breakfast, and they see the news and they see all the stuff that's going on with the Batgirls, and it's revealed to us in this little panel at the very bottom that the old man seems to be the killer that they're looking for, and it seems like Stephanie and Cassandra basically are right about the old man being the killer. We also get to see that this guy called the Tutor, which is like an artist that's trying to like start like like a political movement and stuff like that. It seems to be making his moves. We also get to see Cassandra's like unicorn like jacket and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. Bathrobe, or I forgot what it was called. We also get a scene where Barbara basically creates these like earrings that allows them to like communicate with each other. So they basically have a cool moment with each other. Very good character interaction moment where you get to see Stephanie and Barbara help Cassandra basically pierce her ears. Just she's never done it before, and I really enjoyed the dynamic between the three characters. Are really fun to read when they interact with each other, and overall it was just a really nice, cute scene. The issue's ending basically is a series of events that while the Batgirls are basically out patrolling, they stop a mugger basically from taking this guy's possessions, but they weren't able to stop the other dude that was with the mugger. And it seems like these people are being controlled by this person that is controlling them with like the red eyes and stuff that we saw in the first issue, with the like people that were being saved by the Batgirls basically turned on them and they had like those red eyes. So it seems like someone has like a mind control type power moveset. But it's revealed to us that the dude that was being mugged basically has a possession that was his wife's and that was stolen from him. So that's like a little bit of like an objective for Stephanie to get that for him and make sure nothing bad happens to it. So I'm just saying that object to be very important in this issue. We get to see the tutor basically, and he reveals himself to a giant crowd of people, basically acknowledging and talking about his plans and his political beliefs. And the issue ends with him basically saying that he wants to liberate Gotham, and that a firestorm is to use to be to purify basically. And that's how the issue ends, with them basically saying things like rise, and at the end we get to see that Stephanie and Cassandra arrive to see this going down, and Stephanie seems to be controlled or gets something in her mind to basically be mind controlled, and it has a teaser at the very end. So it basically says Ned's tutor versus Batgirl, which is teasing Cassandra versus Stephanie fight in the next issue, and that should be really good. And yeah, that was Batgirl's issue 2. Overall, I'm about like a week late for doing this review, but it's a really good issue. Overall, the Batgirl run has been very good with issue 1 and issue 2, so I'm expecting it to be a very solid series, and hopefully it doesn't get cancelled. Because it's definitely one of the more enjoyable DC books that I've enjoyed reading. It's something that I do look forward to when it drops, and hopefully it continues to be consistently good and have good material. And even though they're diving into like a little like political plot, it doesn't seem forced or ham-fisted and stuff like that, and it seems to be very natural and organic to the story. And the action's good. The character dynamic is the best part of the book, and it's the reason why I'm reading it, because the characters, and they're being written really well, and they feel like they're in character all the time, and that's very impressive for a writer to do. That's basically the best thing they can do, is to respect the characters and keep them the way they are. At least, that's how I feel. But overall, until next video, when we look over Batgirls issue 3, whenever that drops, be sure to subscribe if you're a fan of this series, as we are going to be covering the series as it's coming out. It's definitely going to be a usual on the channel, as far as I can tell, because I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, leave a comment down below what you thought of issue 2, and what is your predictions for issue 3. I might drop my prediction video hopefully next week, and we'll try to make that thing on the channel as well, and just talk more about this series, because it's great. But until next video, guys, God bless you. Until next lesson, keep on reading those comments.